Art is As artists, we are constantly trying to improve our own art. For us, there's always something to learn and there's no limitations to what we can accomplish. A lot of times, we are told that to improve our art, we must simply practice. But what does that even mean? Should I try to paint and study for 12 hours a day? The answer is that's just not possible, especially if I am putting my energy on the wrong thing. To actually achieve productivity and success, we have to look deeper and we have to look into our minds. Our mind is extraordinarily powerful. There are many connections and interactions happening in our minds. Unlike other creatures on Earth, our mind gives us the ability to think, something that we often take for granted. Our mind isn't just what helps us to make decisions, it is the decision maker. What I mean by that is we can influence our lives from what we think. And hence, if we shift our mindset, we can shift our art and thus improve. Now you may be thinking, or not, but how do I shift my mindset? First, I would like to talk a bit about what mindset actually is. Essentially, mindset is mental attitude. Much like a person having a certain attitude towards a situation, and attitude can be influenced by a multitude of factors, but we can boil it down and say that attitude comes from our minds and how we perceive things around us. So I'm going to be honest and say that art is hard. It's not an easy path, and it requires immense training and patience. But just because it's hard, it doesn't mean I'm going to give up on my passions, and it doesn't mean you should either. What it does mean is that if we are to be successful, we need to be gritty. Grit, in a nutshell, is basically our ability to overcome obstacles and how well we are able to. While we don't know exactly how to achieve a growth mindset and to be gritty, I would like to introduce a few key points that I think can contribute to achieving this mindset. So my first point that I like to say that contributes to this mindset is to always be excited to learn. I know that to do the things that we want to do and to get where we want to be, we do have to do things that we don't enjoy. But if we are able to learn to be excited about what we are actually learning, then I think no matter what we put our minds to, we can achieve it. And something interesting that came up to me from watching another YouTuber, which I will put his link in the description box below if you want to check it out and read up further about this, is that there is a difference between learning and studying. So studying, to me, it kind of jumps out as something associated with like a student, and students would always say, I need to study for an exam so I don't fail my exam, so I get good grades and get to the school I want or have a good job. And the difference between that and learning is that learning is, I'm going to do this because I want to, because it's for my own good, because I like it, and I want to actually know more about this topic, not because of like getting a good grade or because people tell me to do that. I'm just gonna do it for me. And this was very evident for me when I was in college. And when I actually made the shift from studying and just thinking studying is such a chore and I really hated studying, I decided to kind of shift my mindset and to learn instead. And after I shifted my mindset to actually enjoy like all of the knowledge that's being like dumped into my brain, I noticed that it just became very easy and fun to, like do research and to actually learn more about a certain topic. So that is my first point, is to always be excited to learn. And that kind of brings up a second point that is kind of associated with my first point, and that is to always be curious. Now, instead of just learning because we love to learn and we love knowledge being just vomited into our brain, I think being curious is also having like a problem-solving mindset and kind of asking ourselves, why? Why am I learning a certain thing? Why is the thing that I'm learning so valuable? How is that applied to whatever I'm learning? And this can, and then for art, I think how I can try to apply this is to ask myself, like, what makes this artist so great? Like analyzing this artist's painting and this artist's process and just being curious about it, and many things that I can take away from just being curious and asking myself why or how, like how do I do this? I don't know, and I think just having an open mind like that can really help to improve your art, because you're willing to take in a lot of information and you're not drained from it like you would if you were to study. And my third point is to love what you do and not do what you love. Again, this is something that came to my attention from watching this video, and he does a really great job. So again, please check out the description box below. But what I'm going to say is that if everybody is saying, do what you love, like go and chase your dreams, and I think that mindset, that positivity is really, really great, but sometimes the things that we love to do are just not in the stars for us. Like, I want to be a bodybuilder, but I am a small Asian girl, and that's just no way possible for me. And I probably will hit a roadblock or many roadblocks if I just focus on bodybuilding, because there's just so much muscle I can put on my body. But if we learn to love what we do, no matter what it is, it could just be like studying anatomy, which I think is something that people groan about because it's kind of getting into science a little bit. But if we just love what we're doing, no matter what we're doing, and we just love it, then it wouldn't really be like work for us. It will bring us energy and bring us this positivity and this like positive mindset. And I think that just makes such a big difference in when we're trying to improve at something like art. Because art is actually a skill. It's not, people aren't born with a talent. And some people, are better, but it's probably due to having this positive mindset and working on it throughout years and years. And a quote that I really like is, instead of asking yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen? Let's just ask ourselves, what is the best thing that can happen? And I think if you ask yourself, what is the best thing that can happen? And you try to maybe, let's say, get out of your comfort zone and try to improve your skills in a certain area, like maybe drawing faces or drawing technical things like vehicles, and you're just afraid to do it. I think just asking ourselves that, like, what is the best thing that can happen? We will be much more able to actually put a mark onto the paper, and when that happens, you know, we just keep on going and everything will just flow. So I think that is very important. And my last but not least point is to keep growing your roots. And I think for us artists, we may not actually think that there is an improvement in our arts, that we can't really see the improvement because we're looking at our own arts every single day, and we don't really have like a mentor, or some of us don't have a mentor, and we don't have people around us, we don't have like a support system to get like really great like feedback from. So we are very just like blindly just trying to trust the process and just trusting that everything will just eventually work out. But I like to kind of say, so like, let's just visualize, you know, like a plant. Like you have a seed and you want to grow this plant. So you plant the seed and you give it water, sunlight, all that love and nourishment, but several weeks go by and you're like, what the hell? Like nothing is growing. But should you give up, or should you keep on giving this plant love and nourishment? Maybe you do give this plant more sunlight and water, and a couple weeks go by and you look again at your plant and you're like, what the heck? Like nothing is happening, nothing is growing. Like why am I putting all this effort in and nothing is happening? Am I doing something wrong, or is this just like a project that's just meant for failure? But maybe if you keep on, you know, giving this plant a lot of love and nourishment, and you keep on coming back to it, eventually this plant will grow. This plant will sprout and it will grow so fast and so tall, and you're probably just feeling, what, like how? And it's just because when nothing seems like anything is happening, like nothing is happening. Like I'm putting so much effort in my art, but nothing seems to be working out for me. I still can't really, you know, put my foot into the door of the entertainment industry. People aren't really looking at my art. I think what you have to keep in mind is that you're just growing your roots. People can't see it, you can't see it, but just trust that something is happening. You are learning and you are growing, and I think if you keep on doing this, eventually you're going to shine and rise up and be a very tall, like redwood tree. And so I think what I just want to say is to don't give up and keep on doing what you want to do. Of course, I know that it's hard. Like I said, art is very hard and there's no clear path. But much like, you know, like fitness, we might not see improvement after one workout session, but after multiple workout sessions, you will see improvement. You will feel that you are stronger, you are more knowledgeable, and you're more tougher. So yeah, these are just some of the points that I would like to share with you, and that kind of brings back to my main idea of why mindset really matters and how mindset can really help us improve and probably be like the make it or break it in turning our dreams into reality. So that's all I have for this video. I know it's very short and I didn't really go in depth about too much of these ideas, but I just wanted you to kind of put this idea in your brain and think to yourself like that if you're not really seeing improvement or you don't know how to improve, it all really comes down to your mind and being excited to learn, being curious, just toughing it out and being gritty, even after like months and months and years even. And yeah, so if you like this video. If this video was helpful for you, I appreciate it if you can give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. I post more videos like this, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this idea and if you just have anything you want to share. And okay, until next time, hugs and kisses. Keep working on your craft.